This will be a video covering the rules for the ES Runner Intra-Series scalps. These rules also apply to the Euro Runner. The difference would be that the take profit for the Euro Runner is in pips as opposed to the take profit here for the ES is in ticks. There will be a separate video on the Euro Runner. The profit for the Euro Runner scalps, Intra-Series scalps, are 15 pips for profit and 15 pips for loss, and for a sprint, 20 pips for profit and 20 pips for loss. This video here again specifically will go over the ES Runner Intra-Series scalps. First of all, what is an Intra-Series scalp? It's a number that appears after the first scalp number while the smart line is white. Intra-Series scalp numbers appear in white. Here, the first scalp number along the white period of the smart line where scalps can appear is blue. That's a primary scalp. The next numbers that come after that first scalp number are printed in white. They're Intra-Series scalps. The rules for the Intra-Series scalps. First of all, don't trade 30 minutes for pre-market or 15 minutes for regular trading hours prior to a high-impact news release, a market open, European cash market or U.S. futures market open, or 4 p.m. All these times when there's high-impact news releases or cash market opens or U.S. market opens or 4 p.m. are when there's high volatility and it is too dangerous to trade within 30 minutes of that pre-market or 15 minutes of that regular trading hours. You need sufficient time to make profit on your entry. Pre-market, it's best to use 30 minutes prior to one of these events, and for regular trading hours, it's best to use 15 minutes. Secondly, don't trade if the SSI value of the previous candle closed beyond the extreme overbought or oversold line. For example, this 4 right here. The SSI value here closed beyond the extreme. You can see the SSI value down here. That will always, as the SSI value is going up and down, that will show it in gray when the SSI line itself is in gray. Now gray is when the SSI line is slightly overbought, as it is here, or when the SSI line is slightly oversold, as it is in here, as it is here. When it reaches extreme overbought and oversold, don't take a scalp number. And you can see again the value here when the triangle tip is at the line of the extreme. Don't take that trade. The value for the extreme overbought is 88, and the value for the extreme oversold is a value of 12. So if this prints at 88 or at 12, don't take any trades on the Intra-Series scalps. Lastly, for knowing what an Intra-Series looks like, it's a white scalp, of course, but to define which Intra-Series scalps are safer than others, you have one of two rules. It's one or the other. Either 3 dots must appear from the last scalp number, which looks like this. 1, 2, 3 dots. For this Intra-Series scalp was valid because 3 dots appeared down here from the previous scalp number. The second one, it's an OR rule here, so either this or this. The second one is a 2-point retracement must have occurred from the bar 1 candle prior to the last scalp number. That's very simple. For people preparing for scalps, what you do is when a scalp number like this 3 has appeared and you're now looking for valid Intra-Series scalps, you go to that 3, you go one bar before it, you take the highest price, you use a 2-point rectangle, and you wait for a 2-point pullback. And you always go from the bar previous to the recent scalp. You start from that bar, you take the highest price going forward every bar, and you wait for prices to come back to a 2-point pullback. Once the market's gone 2 points pullback, when an Intra-Series scalp appears, it makes it very safe because the market has shaken off some volume and then resumed their upward buy-in move or downward selling move. So one of these two rules, either the 3 dots after the last scalp number or the 2-point pullback. And you have to be prepared for Intra-Series scalps. When you have one scalp number coming up and, for example, maybe you missed that scalp number or you made profit on it and you're waiting for another scalp, you've got to count the dots and also take out your own triangle and just see if there's been a 2-point pullback in price. When either one of these two rules are met, then you know that the next scalp number that comes up, intra-series scalp, is a valid one to take. For take profit, the exit rules are very simple. Let me put this here and write in exit rules. The exit rules. The take profit, it's the same as the primary scalp. For pre-market, it's 6 ticks. For regular trading hours, it's 8 ticks. Stop loss, -6 ticks for pre-market. Regular trading hours, -8 ticks. When the stop loss or take profit hasn't been hit, immediately exit when either the first arrow against your direction closes and permanently prints on the SSI, or when the first aqua triangle appears. SSI arrows will flicker, but not until the candle closes will it print permanently. What that simply means is that if you're in a trade right here on a 3, and you get in here at the open price, give or take a tick, you stay in this trade as long as an arrow against your direction, if you're in a long scalp, as long as a down arrow doesn't fully print, stay in the trade. Once this candle right here closes, that arrow which was flickering during that candle will permanently close, permanently print, and when it does on the open of this candle, get out of that scalp immediately. This arrow will flicker and it permanently prints on the open of the next candle. Otherwise, the other rule for exit is when the first aqua triangle appears. This aqua triangle appears on the first tick of the candle opening. When that happens, you close immediately as well. When either the arrow comes in and permanently closes, permanently prints, or the triangle comes in on the first tick, you close your trade immediately. Scalps are very profitable, but you must enter them within the first 10 to 20 seconds. You must also exit them quickly, because when these things come in, the arrow on the SSI or the triangle on the smart line, many times the prices go against you and you want to have been out of that scalp. Otherwise, if you made your 2 points of profit, and you always use the take profit is from the scalp's open price. So in the case of a scalp like this, if you get a better entry by getting a tick better in price, you would be making 9 ticks on that trade. If you get a tick worse in price from the open, you would make 7 ticks on the trade. But you're always using the open price to calculate where your 8 ticks are. In this case here, it would be right there, would be your exit price. Those are the rules. One last thing here, close at the open of one candle prior to high impact news releases. For medium impact events, move to break even if in profit, otherwise close. So always close a candle the open of one candle prior to a high impact news release. If it's a medium impact news release, then simply move it to profit, otherwise close. You also need to do the same thing for market opens. High impact news release, market opens, and market opens and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in a trade, you simply want to get out of that trade one candle before a high impact news release, the European and US market opens 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, given the high volume with that candle. For, again, medium impact news releases, if you're in profit, move it to break even and still look for your profit target of 6 ticks pre-market or 8 ticks regular trading hours. If you're in loss, close it. Otherwise, close it. If you're in loss, close it. Those are the rules for the intra-series scalps. One last thing, you need to be, of course, careful of things like when you're taking intra-series scalp, if you're going up against daily highs and lows, you want to be at least 6 to 8 ticks away from those levels so that you have sufficient room to make profit and move your position up to break even once you hit those daily highs and lows. Also keep in mind daily highs and lows are within a couple of ticks of daily highs and lows. And also things like 50% fib numbers, when you're going to reach that, you'll be able to know when you're hitting a 50% fib because the system will show you a number up here. That 68, 67 reflects the lows and the high, from the lows to the highs of the day. So right now prices are at 67% of the low to high. So in a trade like this, if you're looking at an intra-series scalp and up there in the top right corner it printed the number 50% and you're coming up against the bottom of a 50% fib, you want to be careful there and either pass on the trade or very quickly move your stop to break even once you hit that particular number. Those are the rules for the intra-series scalps. For those that don't want to look for the 3 dots or measure a 2-point pullback in price prior to another scalp, don't trade these scalps, trade the primary entries. They're very profitable. Intra-series scalps can be profitable if you follow these couple simple rules. Thanks very much, and good luck trading.